Welcome back, and today we are working on our embroidery flowers. I'm Jessica from Jessica's Craft Time, and you're working along with me as I learn the different stitches and how to do it. I've got myself a needle minder to keep my needle, and last week we did the back stitch, the French knot, and the daisy chains. They're not perfect, but no one is. So I thought today we could do this satin stitch and then back stitch. So it's back stitch the petals and then do the satin stitch. Both are color 5, both are two strands each. So let's get, sorry, I've got another color out here that I didn't put away. Let's get number 5 out. I've just got my, what's it called? Charts here. So this is our number 5. And we want two strands. So I'm going to take one length of thread, put that off to the side. And that's got 6 strands in it, if you can see there. Just pull one of them out. And I like to double it up when I can find both ends. I always tend to lick it. You can use a needle threader if you like, but I just tend to lick it. Now I'm going to start this one here. I'm just going to tie off my thread. So just bring it up. Whether this is the right way to do it or not, this is just what I do. Through my loop on my strand, and that's tied off, and we can get started. So the satin stitch are for these flowers, and all it says for satin stitch is they actually like back stitch around the edge and then fill it in. So my postman's just delivered something. That's all I'm going to do. So go up and in. And we'll see how we go. Oops. I'm not quite sure what the back stitching around each one does, but I guess it gives you an outline to follow. So these instructions I'm finding for myself, they're not overly helpful. So I'm kind of going between looking at the front of what the image is and looking at the instructions to make sure that I'm getting it how it's meant to be. This is the first time I'm doing this, so you're learning along with me as we do it. Have a little bit of a chat. Whoops. Chat as we go. I'm sure there's lots of tips and techniques out there for keeping your strands straight or the right tension. So I'm just going to look here. So I've done the back stitch around the edge, and then it just looks like they fill it in. Sorry, I got interrupted. My oh, hang on. Sorry, I had to interrupt. I'm pre-recording this one, and my brother is out shopping for the kiddies for Christmas. He's got 3 nieces and nephews he shops for. He's actually doing it early this year. Still got a week and a bit to go. But he sort of has no idea what to get them. So he always asks. And because we live interstate to him, he doesn't get to see them very often either. So he's not sure what to get. My sister's trying to push for him to buy my son a drum set. And I said, no, no drum set. No, 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 no. But my son is very spoiled. He's an only child on my husband's side of an only child. So he's an only child. His mother has a brother, but he's also an only grandchild. So he gets very spoiled, and they spoil my son. The present times get very hard because he gets lots of gifts through the year, and he has lots of things. Like my brother's like, oh, what monster trucks he have? And I'm like, he loves his monster trucks. He's got 54 of them. Do you want me to list them all for you? And it's hard because he's interstate, so I can't just like go to the shops with him one day and help him pick. So it's lots of messages backwards and forwards. Whoops. And then it's like, oh, what about this Lego? And I actually started a whole chat on Messenger just for my son's Lego, because people are like, oh, what does he have? And I'm able to go back through it, and I try to remember to take a photo each time he gets a Lego set and add it to it, so I know right away which ones he's got, because he loves his Lego. I don't love it so much. Now he wants to know something else. Hang on. I don't know which one he wants. Too hard. It's the one thing. I hate it when I don't have an idea of what to get someone. It's... Oh, he's changed his mind. Sorry. Change his mind again. So hard. There's so many cool things. And my husband loves the Lego too. My hubby's actually doing the Harry Potter Advent calendar. Alright, so we've just filled in those there. And then I'm just going to do some back stitching to join them. So you just go up, over and down. So that's me. I hope you've all... I'm not sure when I'm going to... Oh, this will probably be listed, posted after Christmas, because I need to do the unboxing for this, but it's, yeah, Christmas. It's going to be so much fun. So what other crafts do you like to do? Because I'm looking for some new ones. To play around with. Now he's on to my other niece. That's okay. My sister can deal with that one. Yeah, I'm looking for some new crafts to play around with, and I'm just not sure what I want to do. I'm liking this embroidery so far. It's kind of nice having, like, it's a shame that it's so dark blue, this pattern, because any spots that I miss, it's really kind of standing out. But I definitely like it more for the relaxing point of view of it. The fact that I'm not having to think. Oh, I've missed that bit in there. I'm not having to think. Other than working out what the stitches are, but I'm not having to follow a pattern. I've got a fly in here. It would be nice if it was a little bit lighter, maybe. so it wanted us to do a little back stitch. I'm going to run out of thread and then fill it in. This is really kind of easy to do. I think I've put these off because I'm like, it's too hard to remember how to do all the stitches, but so far it's been fairly easy. I'm kicking myself. The last video that went up, I went looking for an embroidery book, and I'm sure I had one with all the different stitches, but I have a feeling that it might have been one that I got rid of when we moved a few years ago, because I can't find it on the bookshelf. Okay, so from there, then we just go, did the middle first, so I had a point of reference. And then, oh, my brother as well, he's not only doing Christmas, he's doing birthdays as well. So my niece's birthday is December, just after Christmas, and my son's is March, but we don't always see them again before, so he's doing both birthday and Christmas. I'm filling it in. I don't know if I got enough. I've got enough to do a couple of back stitches around here. Nope. So that's your satin stitch done. So I just find some threads on the back and I run my needle through instead of run my needle back. I don't know how you're actually meant to finish it off, but now I've got myself in a mess. I normally just run it through a stitch on the back a couple of times until it's a bit of a knot and pull it. And that is your satin stitch. So what are we going to do next? That's satin stitch, French knot, long and short stitch. What's long and short stitch? Cobweb rose stitch. So long and short looks like you're just going in the flower and doing like a long stitch. Maybe we could do one of these wheels, cartwheel stitch. Okay. Or we can do a satin stitch again on this one here, 2 strands. Or what else is green? Oh yeah, let's finish this off. Let's just keep going with what we were going. We'll just do the satin stitch today. So you've got your thread again. Pull one strand out. All right. There you go. Let's finish these leaves off before we move on to something else. We might just do satin stitch today. If I can get this to work. So I'm just going to come up and go back down, and then because I'm using 2 strands but I've just folded one strand in half, I can secure my stitch like that. So just doing an outline, and then we're going to fill it in. It's easy like that. So I just did down the middle. Well, sort of the middle. And just keep filling it in until you're done. This one was a little bit off center, but that's okay. Okay, and you filled it in, and you've done your satin stitch. So I think embroidery can look, I know it's been a bit daunting for me, and I've held off buying stuff for a long time. And I was flicking through Amazon the other day, and I'm like, oh look, they have these kits, and they're same like next day delivery. I don't have to wait for it. I'm like, let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can do it. Surely you can pick up a needle and do it. And yes I can. And if I can, you can. I don't know if I'd follow those instructions on it. I would probably YouTube your instructions a little bit, like for your different stitches. The instructions are a little bit hard to read. But other than that, the actual design of it is well laid out. Like the instructions on the front, it just tells you what color, how many strands, and what sort of stitch. So you don't necessarily need the actual instructions on the back of the package. You can always, because it tells you what sort of stitch it is, so you can always YouTube it to find out how to do the stitch. In saying that, some people might read the instructions really easily. It might just be me. I'm more of a visual person. Reading the instructions is really difficult for me. Where if you just show me how to do it, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. But write the instructions for me so I can read it, not so much. It's probably why I wasn't very good at school either, because a lot of it's written, or you read and then you have to write. I'm not very good in the way of reading and writing. But show me a video how something's done, or actually show me. And I have to remind hubby all the time, because hubby does well with the reading. I mean, his job is, a lot of it has to do with reading and understanding things, and he forgets that I just can't do it. And he's like, oh, just do this. I'm like, no. You need to get up and show me. Once you show me, I'll understand how to do it, and then you can go away and let me do it. But don't just tell me how to do it. I need to actually visually see how to do it. And then there was some back stitch here for the rest of this one, and we're done. So I'm going to work on this a little bit more and do some of the back stitching and satin stitching, and then I'll come back and we'll do another stitch together. So I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a little bit different. I normally have my card making in these videos, but I'm having a little bit of trouble getting them done at the moment. I'm just not feeling, I think I burnt myself out making Christmas cards, and so many of them, and I'm struggling to come up with designs. So I thought, why not try something different? So I will be back to my paper crafts in the new year once school goes back, and I have a little bit more time to think of what to show you. But that is that there. I can't get my needle off because my thread's, there it is. Let's see what we've done. There you go. So you've got your satin stitch. Can you see how the blue lines are showing? So it's probably me. I could probably go over them a bit better, but I really don't think you're going to notice it. I'm noticing it, and because I've pointed it out, but I don't think you're going to notice it at a distance. So that's my satin stitch, my daisy chain, the French knot, and the back stitching. So I'm going to work on that a little bit more, and I'll come back and pop up another video on the next stitch we're doing. I hope you're enjoying this. If you like this video, please think about giving me a thumbs up. Also in the description below, I have a link to my Facebook page, and I'd love to see photos of what you're working on as well. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.